Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a great day today, and in this video we're going to be doing a review for Season 3 of The Mandalorian. Now this had came out after the first couple seasons of The Mandalorian, and in between there we'd gotten the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, the Boba Fett show, and the Andor show. So there had been a lot more products on Disney Plus, so kind of the novelty of just there being a live action Star Wars show was kind of starting to get lost. So at this point, Disney had to be making some good quality shows if they wanted to impress us. And I think it's pretty safe to say that the quality had kind of dropped tremendously. I don't know if the bad necessarily outweighs the good in this season of The Mandalorian, but it's like borderline pretty close. To start off with the problems of this show, basically the first episode is just setting everything up with the show. It's not anything like too bad, but it doesn't really seem very exciting. It seems pretty underwhelming. And a lot of the stuff that happens in that episode includes conversations that had already kind of happened in like the Book of Boba Fett, because a lot of important stuff happened in between The Mandalorian Season 2 and 3 in the Book of Boba Fett, most notably Grogu coming back, which probably led to a lot of confused people if they hadn't seen the Book of Boba Fett and started watching Season 3 of The Mandalorian, only last leaving off on The Mandalorian Season 2. That would have been pretty insane. But once you get to the second episode, it kind of picks up the speed a little bit, and it actually jumps right into the plot point of The Mandalorian taking a bath in the special waters. But just the way it all plays out seems pretty forgettable and just nowhere near as good as it should be. I mean, they had been leading up to this moment in the Book of Boba Fett, and then it just happens in the second episode. Like, I was thinking maybe he would have some more troubles getting there, but no, it just felt pretty rushed. And then it just kind of ends there. It doesn't really explore that very much. Which the thing I was thinking before this season came out was, how are they going to stretch this out into 8 episodes? Him redeeming himself to be a Mandalorian again. Like, I was thinking it would probably be way too slow paced, but instead it's underdeveloped. It happens way too quick, and then there's just filler episodes. Obviously, you have the third episode, which is just the one doctor guy from the first season of The Mandalorian, focusing on him. And the way it all plays out, it feels like an off-brand episode of Andor, like Great Value, maybe Clancy's, something like that. And it would have been so much better if they had just shown like clips of that in the episodes throughout, like the first 5-6 episodes. Just showing a little bit of that in each episode, rather than just putting all those clips of him in one episode. But obviously Disney was just too lazy for that. Then the fourth episode just kind of felt like a filler episode. There's some character development that happens in it, but it's pretty much just the Mandalorians rescuing a kid from a giant bird. It's watchable, but it's really not anything important or just this high level of entertainment. Once you get to the fifth episode, it's actually pretty improved, although the action and the dialogue just don't really feel as much on spot as they did in the first 2 seasons. But still, on a story level, you get to see the Mandalorian fighting these different pirates. And then you get to the 6th episode, which is yet another side quest, just in order for them to get to meet the other Mandalorians. And they had Jack Black, Lizzo, and Christopher Lloyd in that episode, and just the most random roles that have nothing to contribute to the Star Wars universe. And I did have fun with it, just because of how, like, stupidly fun it was. But it's definitely not the most well written. Although it was kind of cool to see the droids from the Clone Wars, especially with this level of CGI. But still very flawed. And then the 7th and 8th episode were actually pretty good, I would say. I didn't really have problems with those. It finally was the quality that it needed to be. But just the season as a whole was kind of all over the place. It just wasn't the best. And there were definitely good elements in there, but there was just a lot of wacky stuff that happened, a lot of stuff that should have been changed on a story level, on a storytelling level. Still, though, I like the way it ended with the Mandalorian kind of getting a job and settling down with Baby Yoda, or Grogu, sorry about that. And I know a lot of people were hoping that he'd do another mask-off sequence with Grogu, although Pedro Pascal was actually unavailable and just did the voice in this season, and it was actually his stunt double that did all the physical acting. I definitely understand the complaint that it would have been preferred if the Mandalorian did take his mask off again. Although at the same time, it would have undone what he did when he took the special bath or whatever. Although that might have been what people wanted, like him just did not care about that anymore and just fully embrace taking his helmet off and whatnot. But that's just what I thought about it. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. And if you haven't seen it, I would recommend you check it out, I guess. Overall, on the quality scale of 0 to 100, I'll give it a 63%. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.